Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some questions. First of all, I'm back, and don't mind the background or lack thereof, or the echo. It's not done yet. Work in progress. This week, the new year is well underway, and 9.2 builds are back. In the latest 9.2 build on the PTR, we got some fresh new wolf forms for shamans, ghost wolf forms. Fancy, haven't had one of those in forever. In 9.2, shamans will be able to use glyphs to access this Vulpin version of the wolf form, or this brand new kind of like proto-wolf, this lupine form. It's a similar idea to how druids recently got new travel form options, including like the moth for their flight form as glyphs. And if you haven't seen those yet, then that's a whole thing to get into too. Pull up your auction house and search for Mark of the, and you'll find some stuff. I really like the new Ghost Wolf forms, and I'm excited that this means that they have remembered Ghost Wolf. Maybe there could be more on the way. That's speculation, but it's a good sign. In some less good, but perhaps understandable news about the patch, Blizzard recently announced that one of the two new arena maps is not going to make it in time for patch 9.2. The Enigma arena, which is the fancy one that had a button you can use to raise or lower a pillar, is not apparently going to be ready for the 9.2 launch, supposedly needs some more polish to make sure it's working as expected. The other one, though, the Maldraxxus Coliseum, should still launch with the patch as promised. In another 9.2 forum update, because Kyvax has been at it, we got official confirmation that Domination Shards will not work in any of the new zones. I thought that we knew that, but it doesn't hurt to have it in writing. They will not activate in Zereth Mortis or the new raid, or pretty much anywhere that they don't already activate, so like Torghast will still be fine, the Maw, the current, Sanctum of Domination, but it's going to be something that stays in the past. So there's really no strong reason to be farming or upgrading your Shards of Domination unless you want to use them for like a current patch goal while we wait for 9.2. This week, Blizzard also announced that there will be a Tormented Hero faction transfer title cutoff. That's a mouthful. Basically what this means is, if you remember the Tormented Hero title, which is for the tippy top of the Mythic Plus ladder, it's awarded to the top 0.1% of players on both Horde and Alliance. And what they've done is that they have announced that any characters that faction transfer after January the 18th will become ineligible for that title, because the cutoffs will be different for different factions, so they don't want people like last minute transferring to kind of snipe the spots on the lesser represented faction, aka Alliance. That makes sense, and that's been the case for rank 1 titles on PvP for a while. There's usually a faction transfer cutoff ahead of the titles being doled out. I'm less interested in the title because that's for a teeny tiny amount of players, and I'm more interested on what this could potentially imply about the 9.2 release date, because the titles will go out after the end of the season, and the end of the season is going to be roughly before 9.2, right? So if January 18th is the faction transfer cutoff, we don't know when the patch is, and they made that very clear in the post, but we can kind of sort of maybe guess. If I was going to pull a number out of thin air that's substantiated by nothing, I would say 2 to 4 weeks after the faction transfer cutoff would be a reasonable time for the season to end, and it can take time for rewards to be distributed, but it wouldn't shock me if the patch was kind of in the first to mid half of February based on this information, but again, I've made that up and could be wildly wrong. And in my life lately, I have successfully moved. Kira and I are safely up in Canada. We are pretty settled into the new place. Like I mentioned at the top of the video, the streaming setup and the video setup, not permanent. I'm waiting on some furniture to be delivered still, so I've been using my teeny tiny little dining table for a while. I managed to kind of cram enough stuff on it to get going, so I'm in my living room for now. But there's hope that maybe my desk might show up soon. We'll see. There's been a lot of crazy weather, so I'm not expecting anything too rapidly. So that has dominated my holiday season. I would say a more recent development for me is I recently purchased a cast iron pan. I found one on sale, and I've now embarked on a kitchen revolution of discovering all kinds of things that I might like to make in it that I probably could have made in like a regular pan, but now it's exciting and heavy. I have named it Calvin, the cast iron pan, and I am quite satisfied with my choices so far. And I want to say thank you to everyone for your patience on my break, and for people that have been popping by the streams to say hello. It means a lot to me. Extra special shout out to the 18 members of my legendary support tier on YouTube memberships that get the Hazel home video. I put out the like 6 clips that I have. I think it's 6. I hope it's 6. Like the little bit of footage that I recorded on the drive up is up for them. So if you're a member of that tier, you haven't seen that yet, it should be on your community post tab. Appreciate you guys. I like the little club. It makes me feel like I can put out whatever. Also, I forgot. I got my book mount. I did manage to power through the rest of the Mage Tower challenges, so I have footage of all of the kills. I will get the rest of them up at some point, and then hopefully into a little playlist so that they can, I don't know, exist for when the next Mage Tower comes out. For questions, I'm going to start fresh next week, so if you have a question you would like to be answered in one of these news videos, please leave it in the comments of the most recent one and include the word question to help me find it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.